To submit expenses against projects in Alert Stratus, I can choose to do so from our time entry and calendar portal. I can do so right from the expenses entity, or I can choose to do so directly from the project we'd like to submit the expense to. So I'll open my energy system project, and here I'll click on expense items, and here I'm going to see a list of all of the expenses that we've incurred against this energy system project, and I'll click this upper left hand corner to add a new expense item for this project. So I'll start by putting in our expense date. I can select write in and then manually type in the name of the expense in the description field, or I can choose this existing option, in which case I'll just be selecting a product from our CRM product table. You'll see it's already knowing what type of cost code it is. It already knows the type of unit that it's dealing in. Here I have the option to append it to a particular project task, or if I'd like to append it to a particular case, we can do so. So next, the system's asking us, is this going to be billable to our customer, and is this going to be reimbursable to our resource? Scrolling down, we have our pricing details, so I can choose to use the default prices from our product table, or I can choose to override the pricing where I'll manually put in the price per unit. I can put in the quantity of days that we used for this hotel expense. I'll submit the resource who's submitting the expense. And the next step will be to save it. So now that I've saved it, what's going to happen is, if I scroll down on this form and I look at this expense field here, much like the timesheet function in Alert Stratus, the system also puts together a weekly expense sheet so that a project manager or a supervisor or anyone in an administrative role can take a look at a weekly expense sheet for each of their resources. They can get a quick view of all the different expenses that they're submitting this week, and what is going to be billable and what's going to be reimbursable to the resource.